Tabata has fumbled a great amount in the Spade arc, but this is one of his greatest fumbles of all time.
The way Tabata was setting up Lucifero, he was supposed to be Black Clover's best villain. He was supposed to be Black Clover's greatest villain, and he was supposed to be this world-ending threat. But all we got was disappointment. I have tried my best to ignore the talks about Lucifero, about him being disappointment, because again, I really like Lucifero, and I do like him as a devil, but as a villain for the final part of the Spade arc, he's kind of terrible. Now, without further delay, let's get into discussion on how Black Clover ruined Lucifero. Tabata gave us quotes upon pages, and him saying that if Lucifero emerges, the world is done. If Lucifero gets any closer, we're all dead, and this is the power of the King of the Devils. But that's it. He hyped him up just to bring him back down. Now, I know that the main argument is, but the Red Cloak, he was a pawn for a greater purpose, for Lucius Zogratis, which I understand, I love Lucius. Just because we got Lucius Zogratis, somebody who could possibly be Black Clover's best villain, doesn't mean we can't look back at Lucifero and think that this guy was personally just garbage. Lucifero was supposed to be the game changer of this arc. He was supposed to be the one who's going to set the grounds, the one who's going to set the tension in this arc, not the person we were going to laugh at and call him the king of clowns. Lucifero is supposed to be the toughest devil in his faction. He's the king of the devils. He should be, in theory, the best written devil in Black Clover, but Tabata forgot to give him a character. Tabata forgot that he needed to give Lucifero a character. All he saw was a pawn in Lucifero, which is kind of sad. Sad for Lucifero's character, not sad for Lucifero in general. We all know that Tabata can write villains. You can look at Xenon. He was very damn good for the short amount of time we spent with him. He was so good, and we thought that maybe Lucifero can get that treatment as well. But again, Tabata must have forgot that he had to give the devil some characterizations, something that he's been fairly lacking besides Libe and maybe Magicula. Obvious Demon Slayer spoilers, but if you read the Demon Slayer manga, you already know how good Akaza is, and if you read Bleach, you already know how good Ukiura is. These are just different series side villains that aren't even comparable to the big bads, who are arguably better than them. And I think that's what Black Clover's problem is, but I will dwell into why Tabata failed the devils as a whole, and I'll get into that while I continue with Lucifero. Now, I think I'm going to just talk about Lucifero's manifestation and how he buyed every captain with quickness. Look, I already made a video on that, so you should go check it out. It's probably one of my funniest videos that I've ever made, and obviously I don't want to just repeat myself from last video. Now, obviously, if you read the manga and saw the part where Lucifero was bodying the captains with quickness, you'd understand that Lucifero was doing very damn well. He was menacing, he gave us a bit of tension, and it felt like any captain could have died. That's the main saying, could have. No one died, not even a civilian. The King of Devils could not even kill a civilian. Now, I'm not a death merchant. I don't want mindless death in a series. But again, the title of King of Devils, you should body somebody. Look, even somebody like Sukuna, the King of the Curses, has bodied a good amount of people. And I think that's why I love what JJK does with Sukuna. Every time that motherfucker's on screen, he knows what he's doing. Every time Sukuna takes over Yuji's body or fights somebody, you already know a calamity is going to happen. You already know that Sukuna is going to body civilians, anyone that gets in his way, and even body some curses while he's at it. Now, obviously, this doesn't make Lucius's reveal bad or anything, but it does make Lucifero look like a dumbass and a terrible villain. Lucifero was supposed to be the groundbreaker of this arc. He was supposed to be the one to set the tension. Lucifero not having Grimoire is pretty bad because he can't use spells and can't use those broken spells like Zegred, but I'm going to say this, it shouldn't matter. In my personal opinion, it should not matter that the King of the Devils needs a Grimoire or not. He should be personally above everyone else on this battlefield, and he should be the one to actually drop somebody. Instead of making us remember Lucifero for a good villain, Tabata made us remember him as a fucking clown, and it's bad. Very bad for Black Clover. He was the King of Devils, for God's sake. Let us remember him because he took someone away from us. It would make his defeat even more satisfying. Obviously, if this video gets enough traction and likes, I will make a video on how to properly beat Lucifero to, give us, the fans, what we deserve, a better villain of Lucifero, and give us that menacing villain of Lucius, which we already had, and give us a proper final conclusion to the Spade Kingdom raid arc, which obviously I'm going to get into. But I'd rather not talk about it here because I'll just be wasting my time in the video. I'd rather talk about Lucifero and now the Devils. Everyone and their mother knows that Lucius probably was messing with time to get the perfect outcome so we can get Lucifero's heart, because again, he couldn't beat him. Now, obviously, Lucifero probably could have figured that out if he just looked at the clock and just said, oh shit, I'm being fucked with. Now, obviously, that would ruin, the kind of reveal, so obviously we can't put that there. But the other thing is, when we thought Lucifero was actually going to catch a body, he actually didn't. Now, obviously, that just plays into the stake problem of the Spade arc, which, again, I'll get into in a whole different video. But that's just the sad thing. The moment we thought Lucifero actually caught a body, it was completely removed. Also, the other thing about Lucifero's fighting style is it was kind of fucking lame. Now, obviously, if you're a meathead like myself, you would actually enjoy him punching and kicking, just slamming down every captain. But if you want a better in-depth fight with nothing but choreography, then his fighting style is just fucking lame. He brings nothing to the table, and it's just completely boring. Punching and kicking and using gravity like your pain ain't really gonna do it for me. Obviously, it's not really that hard to give a Black Clover gravity user a unique fighting style. He did it with Dante. I'd expect he could do it with Lucifero. But again, I feel like Tabata just didn't put enough time and effort for Lucifero. Lucifero was made just so Lucius could take his heart, and also Lucifero was made, so we have that tension with Libe. And not only that, he was a throwaway villain. We are possibly never going to talk about him again, but I would be surprised if we do talk about him again, and he does get a bit of characterization. But I feel like it's a little bit too late, because who gives a shit about him now? Also, it's kind of revealed that Lucius ran gauntlet to every Supreme Devil in the Underworld, so I think the Devils are kind of done for the story, and they're just going to be turned into Paladins, so hopefully we get a fresh start with them. But you guys want to know what the sad part about this is? If Tabata actually used his time that he used on Libe and used it for the Devils, he possibly could have made great antagonists. Look at the demons in Demon Slayer, Akaza, Kokushibo, Doma, even Muzan. They were fantastic antagonists. And the Arankars and Hollows in Bleach, look, like Stark, fucking Ukuyora, and even the Stern Ridders like Jugram and Basby, they're fantastic characters. Looking at all the other devils, some of them we don't know and they're probably dead and turned into paladins now, and the others are just the same old, wanting to toy with humans, wanting to torture them, thinking humans are lower than them. And besides Magicula, Adramalik, and Libe, everyone else is just completely lame. Nama and Lilith didn't do anything for the plot, and the moment we thought that Lucifero was going to give us something different, he didn't. Hell, we could have saw a panel where Lucifer actually understands his loss and doesn't just blame it on sheer luck, on that he was just at 50%. It's because he was arrogant. It's because he, tried to take it easy. And we could have saw him even train and get stronger so we can sell the score at Asta. And that would be incredible to see, an incredible growth for Lucifero, and to not underestimate humans. But only Magicula learned the values of human emotions, and we barely get to see her ever again because she's possibly turned to a paladin and was bodied by Lucius. We were all excited for the devil race ever since Zagred's defeat and ever since the mention Magicula, but all that has showed us is nothing but a disappointment and one of Tabata's biggest fumbles, being Lucifero. I am a Black Clover fan at heart. I will defend the series if I feel like it needs defending, but this is where I can't defend it. The Devils have become nothing but a disappointment. Now, obviously, this could change if Adramalik is done well and Astaroth is given some justice and given a well-needed character, because I think that Astaroth has a lot to show in this series. But as of right now, Tabata fumbled the bag with Lucifero and the respected devils in the underworld. Oh yeah, Beelzebub gets a pass because he actually barely got shown, and obviously he never got manifested, so technically he never took an L, so yeah, he gets excluded from this video.
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing? What? No.
Now obviously I'm very excited for Black Clover's final act, but I'm also kind of scared. I hope Tabata doesn't do the Paladins like he did the Devils. Now obviously they are different beings, they can't really be done the same, but I have a little bit of faith in Tabata. And tell me guys what you guys think about Lucifero as a villain. Did you like him? Did you hate him? Or tell me down below your personal opinions. Anyways, I'm going to head up out of here and see you guys later. Peace out.